Guys, Dan here, and welcome to another Shopify tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about how to find the best Shopify suppliers, and I'm going to take all my knowledge that I've learned, all the mistakes that I've made in finding suppliers in my e-commerce journey, and I'm going to show you guys all of it, how to find the best supplier for your Shopify store. So hope you guys are excited for this one. Now, first thing you have to do is go on Aliexpress.com, and I assume that by this time you already know what you're going to be selling. You already know, the niche that you're going to be selling. You already have a website up, and you already have some kind of a Shopify store running, right? Because what's the point of finding a supplier for your Shopify store if you don't even have a store yet, if you haven't picked out your product, if you haven't done any product research yet? And if you haven't done any product research yet, like if you don't know what product you're going to do, I highly recommend watching my product research video on this channel. I've got a ton of awesome Shopify content, as well as e-commerce, Amazon, making money online. So you guys can go and check that out. There's a playlist for Shopify Freedom. Just check that out. So a lot of you might think that it's very easy to find a supplier for your Shopify store, and you might think all you got to do is go on Aliexpress.com and just type in your product name and just choose whatever product, right? The one with the highest amount of reviews, ratings, things like that. And there's a lot more to it, because if you just did that, you're going to have an incredibly high amount of complaints, and people are just going to be pissed off because your supplier might not have units in stock. And with Shopify Dropshipping, when a customer purchases a product from your store, they give you the money first, and then it's up to you to fulfill the order for them. So pretty much you then have to go and fulfill your order using Oberlo, which is another Chrome extension that I talk about in my product research video. And pretty much, then you pay your supplier, and then your supplier ships it to them directly. While a lot of the time, if you chose a bad supplier, or if you just missed the tiny detail here and there, right, there's a lot of things to look out for when choosing a supplier, which I'm going to talk about. Then, if you miss something, then, for example, your customer might not get the order, or it might come in a month late, and nobody likes waiting a month for shipping, right? So that's why in this video, I'm going to show you guys every single thing that you must know to find an awesome supplier for your Shopify store. So let's just say that we have a barbecue store, and we're going to use the classic example of barbecue gloves. This is literally the example that I use in every single one of my videos. I don't know why. And let's say we're looking for an awesome supplier for barbecue gloves. As you can see, very important, they all have ePacket, which we're going to talk about as well. And the very first thing that I do is I sort by orders, because this will sort by the suppliers with the highest amount of orders, right? Because logically you can assume that if they have a lot of orders, they're probably a good supplier, right? And before we even actually start searching for the product, and now before we even begin choosing a supplier, I'm glad I caught myself here, because something very important that you have to do is you have to create your Aliexpress account. And it's very easy, just go up here and then create an account. And then once you create an account, click right here, My Aliexpress, and then in here you need to set up your Alipay, which is right here. So my Alipay account, okay, and then go here, and we're gonna set this up together, all right, as if it's brand new. So let me just log in really quick. All right, and then right here, you're gonna wanna fill out this code. So right here, this is the code. It's gonna send me an email, so I'm just gonna do that really quick. All right, so once you click on the link in your email, and then you pretty much answer all the security questions that any other typical website would make you do, it's going to bring you to a window right here that says your Alipay account has been set up successfully. And right here, I highly recommend that you verify your identity right away. And the reason for that is because if you're going to start moving higher volume with your Shopify store, if you're going to start selling a lot, then you need to make sure that you don't have any restrictions in your Alipay account. And you don't want to start selling a lot and suddenly you're happy, that you're getting so many sales and it's awesome, you're making passive income, and your Alipay account is limited. So right away, you want to verify your identity. And how you do this, it's very simple. You just want to fill out all of this personal information, full name, date of birth, nationality, and then most importantly, down here, you want to put in your ID card or passport or driver's license. And I usually use my passport, and I just type in the passport number on the front of my passport, and then just upload a picture of your passport and then submit. And then once you've got this done, it actually can take between 3 and 5 days in my experience. So you want to make sure that you've got this done ASAP, because if you have your Shopify store up and running and then you're getting sales, and then let's say you get a lot of sales, and pretty much what happens is that you need to order a lot and your Alipay account is limited, well, you're gonna have to wait 3 to 5 days. That might shut down your Shopify store, and obviously your customers won't be very happy. So just make sure you get this done before we even start selecting our supplier. All right, now that that's done, we're gonna install a very important tool, and it's absolutely free. It's called AliPrice Assistant right here. So AliPrice Assistant, just type that on Google. And then right here, you'll be able to click on the link for the Chrome Web Store and just install it right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to pop up this thing at the bottom left, and you're also able to open it right up here. So how it works, guys, is pretty much when we click on this product or any product, we're looking at a product, we're trying to choose a product, it's going to pop up this toolbar down here, and it's going to show you a lot of crucial information that is super helpful in selecting a good supplier. Because when you're selecting a supplier for your Shopify store, you want to make sure that the supplier is good, has a great history, has a great amount of feedback, is highly rated, right? There's a lot of different things to look out for. So I'm just going to show you guys exactly what to look out for right here. So let's open this up right here. This is the most important part of this tool. And as you can see, 98.7% positive feedback. They've been on Aliexpress for more than a year, which is a good sign. And it tells you exactly the month and year that they've been selling since. And then more than 1,000 feedback score, which is awesome, right? You want to look for 2,000 feedback score because you want to just go double, right? You want to be super sure because there's a lot of suppliers out there on Aliexpress. Like there's a ton of suppliers for every single product. Why risk it by choosing a supplier that, might be good, but is not great? You want to choose amazing suppliers. And right here, you can see very fast shipping. That's very, very important. 14.36% higher than other sellers. And then also sold a very high quantity amount of items for the last 3 months. Also, it says very communicative and that they quickly respond to messages, which is super important because we're going to actually be contacting them. We're not just going to be kind of plugging in Oberlo in here, which is the usual way. All right, so let's say that we chose this product and we're thinking of using this supplier right here. We already checked off on AliPrice and we took a look at all the positive feedback. Everything looks good. Everything checks off. Now we need to send them a template. And we're not just going to be like doing the traditional Oberlo, not even contacting them. We always want to contact our suppliers because you want to establish a long-term business relationship with them, right? You don't want to just be starting a Shopify store and making money for a month and then you have your supplier bail on you for whatever reason, or they stop sending you product, or it just starts being very bad. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when working with Chinese suppliers, and trust me, I've experienced that. I've been doing this for a while, and like every single thing in the book and more that you can think of has gone wrong. So that's why I want to prevent you guys from making any of these mistakes. So if you scroll down, every single supplier has this option to contact them, and we already know that they answer all of the messages right here. They're very communicative and they quickly respond to messages, which is awesome. And so right here, you're going to want to click the link below this video to get my Shopify Freedom supplier template. I shared that with you. I personally have used it and use it every single time I find a supplier for my Shopify store. And so the template looks like this. Right here. So let's just take a look and read it right here. So hello, my name is your name, and I'm the lead purchasing agent of company name. So pretty much you want to kind of like look big for your Shopify supplier because they don't want to deal with, very small stores. They don't want to deal with people who aren't interested in forming a long-term business relationship with them. That's why it's super important to position yourself as a professional, established Shopify store or company or brand, because that way you sound professional. And trust me, this works. And I've done this so many times for my Amazon, for my Shopify, and this works, and you get a lot higher of a response. At the beginning, when I was first starting e-commerce, my journey in e-commerce, I literally just wasn't doing any of this. I was just sending like an unprofessional template that I kind of made up on my own, and it wasn't working. Just the suppliers were either sending 1-word or 2-word answers, or they weren't responding at all. So I don't want that to happen to you. So that's why I highly recommend you use this supplier template. So the link for this is right down below. It's absolutely free. You can go ahead and download it right there, and then you can just copy paste and make sure that you fill out hello, my name is name, and I'm the lead purchasing agent of company name. So fill out all of these spots right here where you have to fill out. And our store specializes in selling category of products, so you want to put in the niche or like the category of products that you're selling in so that they know what your store is about. And then also right here, you want to put a high number in here. So we're currently selling about number of orders per day, and you can make that high because you want to make yourself sound like you're doing a lot of volume, because Chinese suppliers want to work with stores that are already making money, because if you're already making money, that means that you're going to order a lot from them, which means that they're going to make a lot of money as well. And right here, these are the very important questions that we have to ask. And at the bottom, we're going to get to this, but we're going to have them add us on WhatsApp. That's what I personally use. Some people use Skype. Some people use WeChat, which is the Chinese version of WhatsApp. I personally always use WhatsApp. And sometimes the Chinese government blocks WhatsApp. And in most cases, it works fine, and you're able to reach them. So that's my preferred method of communication. I don't want to communicate with them on AliExpress or Alibaba, which is pretty much the bigger version of AliExpress. We use that for Amazon. We can also use that for Shopify, only when you're ordering like 100 or 1,000 units in bulk, right? And that's pretty much not dropshipping anymore. But yeah, I always add my WhatsApp number at the bottom, so you want to fill out your WhatsApp number. If you don't have WhatsApp, just make one really quick, and it's usually your cell phone number, and then they'll send you a message there, and then that way you can communicate with them instantly instead of having to wait for their responses on AliExpress on the chat on this website right here, which isn't very useful. And so these are the questions that we need to be asking them, and I'm going to go over this. This is very, very important. So number 1, do they offer blind dropshipping? Number 2, do they offer bulk dropshipping? Now, what is blind dropshipping? Well, pretty much, let's just say that you didn't ask them about blind dropshipping. That's why I'm so happy you're watching this video, because this is a very easy newbie mistake that you could be making if you hadn't watched this video. So pretty much, if you didn't do blind dropshipping with them, or if they don't do it, let's say your customer buys something from you on your Shopify store and they receive it in the mail, maybe 12 days later, and they open it and pretty much it has like some marketing materials. It has some brochures from your Chinese supplier, so it's all written in Chinese. And also it shows like a receipt, right? They include a receipt a lot of the times if they don't do blind drop shipping, and the receipt literally shows like 70 cents, right? Which is what you paid your Chinese supplier. And obviously someone who paid like 40 bucks for something that's worth 70 cents is going to be very, very pissed off, and you're going to get a high amount of chargebacks, high amount of disputes. And chargebacks and disputes are something that you want to avoid, because you don't want your Stripe account closed. You don't want any like, you don't want anything wrong with any of your payment processors, because that's like literally the core of your online business. All right, so I'm preventing you a lot of future headache right here. So make sure that they offer blind drop shipping, and right here you explain without sending an invoice or any associated marketing materials, including in or on the packaging. And then number 2 is, this is also very important, you offer bulk drop shipping. This also makes it sound as if you're a large store already, because you say our store's current selling volume is too large to place orders individually. Now what bulk drop shipping is when you have your customers buying on a Shopify store, pretty much you have a VA do this, for fulfillment, things like that. I usually hire a VA on Fiverr or Upwork. I'm going to show you guys those 2 websites. They're very useful for any online business. I've used them like so much. I tend to hire VAs on Upwork. It's just more professional. So right here, upwork.com. And right here, just type in virtual assistant, and you can literally hire anyone on this website, like graphic designers. It's amazing for logos and things like that too. And then right here, always go to filters, and then 90% and up job success. You want to do 1K or 10K plus earned, 1,000 hours plus billed. And typically you'll get a very high quality of VAs right here. And you want to do $10 and below for an hourly rate. And a lot of these are from third world countries where $6.67 is a lot of money for them per hour. So, this is good for both you and them. So it's amazing to hire a virtual assistant for fulfilling your orders, setting up the Excel sheets, things like that. And so in our supplier template, if we go back to that, the reason why we're asking for bulk drop shipping is because our company is going to send them. So, you're saying that our company would like to send you an Excel spreadsheet with each customer's information. So it's going to have the full name, email, address, product, the type of product. And then pretty much you ask them to process each order individually by sending each customer their product. And that's called bulk drop shipping, because you're saying that our store's selling volume is too large to place orders individually. So trust me, this will save a huge headache down the road, especially if you're not doing a large volume yet. But the fact that they offer it is a huge plus as well. So if they offer both of these, that's amazing. Number 3 is, do they have an MOQ, which is a minimum order quantity, a very common term in e-commerce, and is that required for any of their products, right? And you want to know this in advance, because if they do have an MOQ, you can try to get them down, right? So you want to look for products, obviously, that have a 0 MOQ, and with Shopify Dropshipping, obviously, you're going to be selling individually, right? Unless you're literally like selling the same product in thousands and thousands of units, then maybe, it doesn't matter if there's an MOQ, right? So this is something good to know as well. And number 4 is you're asking them if they're able to send an invoice for the whole dropshipping order, that we provided them the Excel sheet with all the orders, all the customer names at once on Alipay. And then pretty much they'll just send you a custom link for Alipay in your Aliexpress, and then you can just pay them just like that with your credit card that's attached to Alipay. That's what I've been doing. And then lastly, you're asking them if they're able to do private label dropshipping. Now, if you've heard of Amazon FBA, that's pretty much private labeling. And if you've been watching my Amazon videos, then you know what private labeling is. Pretty much you create a logo, or you have someone create a logo, like I said, on Upwork or Fiverr. You can type in graphic designer, and then you find a VA to make you like a logo. And as you can see right here, 100% job success, $556 an hour, $20,000 plus earned. So, you're pretty sure that it's going to be good work right here. That's why I always prefer Upwork.com. And so the reason why you're asking your supplier if they're able to attach a logo is because that will separate you so much from everybody else that does Shopify dropshipping, because now you've got a private labeled branded Shopify store. And most people don't even know how to do that. So that's why it's so awesome. That's why I'm so happy you're watching this video right now, because it's just like golden information right here. So let's go back to our template. And it looks like I think we covered everything. And then we look forward to doing business with you for many years to come, right? So just pretty much you want to, copy paste this whole thing, and then make sure that you fill out, like I said, right here, you don't want to like put sincerely company name, right? That's very unprofessional. So right here, and you want to make sure, like right here, you want to make sure there's numbers here, because they typically won't answer all the questions if there are no numbers. So you want to make sure there are numbers. I don't know why it didn't copy that. So make sure that that's numbered right there. It's just how the Chinese are. Apparently they like numbers more than non-numbered things. It's just how they're taught in school. So that's why you're making it easier for them. and then just send them this message, and that way they'll be able to answer your questions, and then also you'll get a message from them on WhatsApp. And I highly recommend sending this message to more than one supplier. So if we were looking to do barbecue gloves, we would go back here and we would look at like this one right here, we would look at this one, and then we would send them the same template, to 5 suppliers, and that way we can see who has bulk, who has blind, and what things that one supplier has that the other one doesn't, and then we can make a rational decision and choose one for our product. Now, another thing is we want to make sure to know all of our costs with each supplier for our product. So right here, it looks like it's $4.53 a piece, right? Another great thing with the tool that we installed with Ali Price Assistant is if we pull up this window right here, this will show us the whole price history ever since the product has started being sold. And right here, as you can see, right now it's the lowest price. It was at $5.89, but I guess they didn't sell as much, so they dropped it back down to $4.53. So you can see the price history right here. So it's very useful, and you can compare it to all of the other suppliers. But what's most important is to check the e-packet fee. And we want to make sure that our cost of goods sold, which is $4.53 per piece, that's our cost per unit, you want to add that to however much the e-packet costs. So scroll down right here and then make sure that you select ship to United States. And we can see right here that it's $1.16 for shipping via e-packet. E-packet is the best shipping. You don't want to use anything else. And if your customer lives in the United States, then it's going to be 12 days. And if your customer lives in Canada or like some farm town in the UK or something like that, it's going to be closer to the 20 days. So right here, $1.16, and if you add that to $4.53, so it's going to be about $5.60, 70 something, right? That's like mental math, but that's how you know how much your product is going to cost you, unit cost plus shipping. And it's good to be aware of this because, when you're calculating profits and when you know how much you're spending on Facebook ads, which is primarily what we're using to get customers, right? It's just good to know. And then the second thing you want to look at is the seller guarantees. And this is very important. So a lot of you are probably asking, well, what happens if one of my customers wants to return the product, right? If it's not good. And right here, as you can see, if the product you receive is not described or low quality, the seller promises that you may return it. And typically they'll charge a fee, so it can be like 10% of the purchase price, right? And it's important to know that they have a return policy. And then also right here, on-time delivery. If you don't receive your purchase within 60 days, you can ask for a full refund. So that's also great stuff to know. Now, another very important thing is once you're actually speaking to them on WhatsApp, on the chat app on your phone, then you want to ask them like right away if they're able to provide you a real-time inventory feed. Right? And what happens is pretty much that way, if you have a real-time inventory stock feed, then you know exactly how many units they have in stock of each product that you're sourcing from them. And that's very good to know because if they're very low on stock, well, you probably should stop selling that product for a little bit or find a different supplier, because if you're going to get customer orders and they run out of stock for that product, then they're not going to be able to receive their orders, and it's just going to be it's just going to be bad, right? So that's why you want to ask them for a real-time inventory feed for all of their products or all the products that you're sourcing from them. And then one last thing you want to ask them is for an online portal for like a tracking to track orders and things like that you can give to your customers. A lot of suppliers will have an online portal to track the order number, which is very, very important because that way you know like where it is in the shipping process, things like that, right? Because obviously your customers want to know where that is, right? And even you, right? If you want to search up an order number and things like that. And one last thing to look out for as well is if you scroll up right here, you can see the supplier's name. And if you hover over them, you can see that there's 3 ratings right here. You want to make sure that all of these are above 4.5. So in this case, 4.8 above average, 4.8, and shipping speed is 4.7. And then you can see that they've been open since 2015. So this is also very good to look at. Make sure that it's above 4.5. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to find the perfect supplier. Make sure that you're messaging more than one supplier, and make sure that you're calculating the costs of all the suppliers, because the e-packet fee is going to be different, or the per unit fee is going to be different. Make sure that you look at the price history to look at like when the price fluctuates and things like that, so that you anticipate it correctly. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And make sure that you also download the free Shopify Freedom supplier template, which is the template that I personally use when I message my suppliers right here. And it's all done for you. All you got to do is just fill in all the blanks and pretty much just copy paste that, send it to 5 suppliers, 5 to 7, and there you go. That's it, right? So thank you guys for watching. This is the supplier template right here. Make sure you get it. The link is right down below. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys are interested in e-commerce, Shopify dropshipping, Amazon FBA, making money online, and anything like that, like living the freedom lifestyle and just truly living a great life, entrepreneurship, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media, Instagram and Snapchat. If you guys like this video, then go ahead and leave a comment right down below. Just tell me what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon.